Hey everyone, and welcome back to Daily Tuition. In this lecture, we are going to see how to create a payment gateway with PayPal. I got many requests to make payment integration tutorial using PayPal. So I decided to make this beginner level tutorial that makes you more comfortable with PayPal and feels more confident to make PayPal integration in your project. So this is the latest and easiest way to integrate PayPal in your project. So before we getting late, let's get started and see how to integrate PayPal with your existing project. You need to first open the PayPal website. So I'm going to just open my browser and just type here PayPal. When I press enter, I'm going to have a website www.paypal.com. I'm going to open it and create a new account on this website. PayPal is one of the most popular payment gateway option for online shoppers and has benefits for you as a business owner too. A payment gateway isn't the only solution for creating online payments, but it is one of the most easiest option to get started with. To use PayPal as a payment gateway provider for your online shop, you will need to apply for an account with them. So you just need to head on to paypal.com and create your account. So just click on sign up to create a new account, or if you have the existing one, you can click on this login button. I have the existing account on PayPal, so I'm going to click on this login button. And I'm going to just specify my email ID and password to log in with PayPal. Once you log into PayPal, you will get the result something like this. Just click on this My PayPal. Now this page will show you all the information of your account. Now I'm not going to do anything here. I'm going to just hover over these tools and click on these All Tools. When I click on it, I'm going to have here different options. I want to integrate PayPal. So I'm going to just select this Integrate PayPal. Here I have different options to integrate PayPal with my project. I'm going to use this API credential option to integrate this PayPal with my project. So I'm going to click on this Open button. Now here you can notice we have the PayPal API, the pre-built payment solution, the REST API integration, and here I have different options to work with PayPal API. I'm going to just click on this REST API integration. Using REST API, it's super easy to integrate PayPal with your project. So I'm going to click on this Manage REST API app and credential. Once I click on it, I'm going to have this REST API apps. Here you can notice I already have this payment app. I created this app using Sandbox account. Right now you don't have this app in your account because you didn't create it yet. So note here, to create and delete your app, just click on this PayPal Developer Experience link. I'm going to just right click here and say Open with New tab and open the PayPal Sandbox account. PayPal has a sandbox environment to test functionalities before the developer makes them live. This way, the software developer can iron out any issue before the business starts accepting payment from any customer. So instead of the real payment, we are going to make a demo payment with a sandbox account. With a sandbox account, you will get 2 default accounts, or you can create more than 2 accounts if you want. So I'm going to just click on these accounts. By default, you have 2 accounts. These accounts are helpful to make a demo payment. A developer can easily get access to this sandbox account by signing up for a PayPal sandbox account. So when you click on the account, you will get 2 default accounts. This is the facilitator account and this is the buyer's account. You can notice here I have 2 more accounts here. If you want to create multiple accounts, you can click on this Create Account button. Using this button, you can create 2 types of account, for business and for personal. Here I have 4 accounts. 2 accounts are default and 2 accounts are optional. You can create your new account by clicking on this Create Account button. That's super easy to create a new account. Just click on it and just specify the account type and then specify the country. That's super easy to create a sandbox account. I'm going to close it because I already have 2 accounts here. I'm going to use this account and I'm going to just edit some information from this account. Now you can edit all the information of this account right from here. Just hover over 3 dots and click on this View and Edit Account. And from here, you can edit all the information of your account. You can specify your first name, last name, your email ID, your account type, account ID, and here you have a different information of your account. This is the API credential. This is the funding section where you can specify the balance of your account. So just click on this Edit and specify the balance of your demo account. I'm going to leave everything as it is and just specify this PayPal balance and specify password. When you create a demo account with Sandbox, you need to first specify the password to it so you can successfully log in with this account. So this is your email ID and this is your password. click on the change password and specify your own password to this account. Make sure the password is simple because this is just a demo account. We don't have a real money inside it. I already have password to this account, so I'm not going to specify it again. Let's log in with this email ID and password. So I'm going to open a new tab and here I'm going to say www.sandbox.paypal.com. I'm going to just head on to this website and right from here I'm going to just log in with this username and this password. So I'm going to just click on this login and here as a username I'm going to specify this username, the facilitator username. I'm going to copy it and paste it here like this, and I'm going to specify my password and just click on this login. Now you can notice I successfully log in with this email ID and this password. Now this is the facilitator account where I'm going to get all the payments from the user. So when the user purchases any product from my website, I'm going to get the payment on this account. Now let me just log in to the buyer's account. I'm going to back to my website and close this. And here I have this buyer account as well. Just click on this, view and edit. Now here I have the email ID and the password. Make sure you specify the password to this account as well. In the funding, I have this balance. If you want, you can change this balance and specify any balance here by clicking on this edit button. Now just for that, I'm going to just log in with this email ID as a buyer account. I'm going to copy this email ID and log out from this facilitator. Click on this login and here I'm going to specify my email ID like this. Just for that, I'm going to specify my password. So here I'm going to say my password and click on this login button. As you can notice, this will just log me to my buyer's account. I'm going to leave this as it is and just log out from this buyer's account as well. I'm going to just log out from my buyer's account and just back to my Sandbox account. And here I'm going to just click on this My Apps and Credential. Now, once you click on this My Apps and Credential, you need to create a new app. I already have here Payment App. I'm going to just name this app Payment App. If you want, you can change this name and specify different name to this application. To create a new app, you need to click on this Create App button and create a new app. That's very simple. Now, once you create it, let me just open it. And here is the information of this app. Here is the Sandbox account connected with this app. Here is the client ID, this secret code, and all the information of this application. I'm going to leave this as it is. And now let me just create my payment page from where I can purchase the product and make payment. So I'm going to open the PHP Storm and here I'm going to create a simple payment page. So I'm going to just open the PHP Storm editor, which is my favorite editor for writing PHP code. And now here I'm going to just create this simple payment page. If you have followed the PHP shopping cart tutorial, then this is just the next part of that tutorial. If you don't know how to create the shopping cart, then don't forget to check out that video first before you move on. I'm going to just put that video on the top right corner of the screen, or you can just find that video from the description of this video as well. Now once you complete that tutorial and create your shopping cart, let me just show you how you can make payment using PayPal. I'm going to create a new project with simple payment page. So I'm going to create here a directory and name this directory PayPal. And inside this directory, I'm going to create a new file. So I'm going to create a PHP file and name this file payment.php. Inside this file, I'm going to create my HTML payment page. Here I'm going to just right click and create a new directory, assets. In this asset, I'm going to have different images. So I'm going to just copy some images and paste it inside my asset folder right here. Back to my project, and here I have different images. I'm going to just use these images in this project. Now let me just create my payment page. So right here, I'm going to simply create HTML snippet and I'm going to specify title, PayPal payment. Just for that, right here in the header section, I'm going to link my style sheet. So here I'm going to say link style.css. So let me just create this file inside my PayPal. I'm going to create the style sheet file and name it style.css. And inside this payment, right here in the body section, I'm going to create my main section of this payment page. So here I'm going to say main and specify ID cart main. And inside it, I'm going to create my title for this page. So I'm going to create a division tag with some classes and specify h1 heading tag here with the text shopping cart. Don't worry, you can download all the source code from the description of this video. So I'm not going to waste your time by typing all this code one by one. We are focusing on PayPal payment gateway. So I'm not going to type all this HTML code line by line. Just for that, down here, I'm going to create a container here to print the product. So I'm going to just create here a container, and inside it, I'm going to create my grid division tag. Inside this div, I'm going to create two columns. This is my column first, and this is the column second. Inside the first column, I'm going to put my all cart items. So I'm going to just put here my first cart item. So here I'm going to just put this division tag where I'm going to have the product image, the title of the product, and all the description of this product. And just for that, in the second column, I'm going to just put the subtotal section. So I'm going to just put here subtotal section like this, save the changes, and now let me just execute this payment file in my browser. So let me first start the Apache server and this MySQL database. Minimize it, right click here and say run this payment file. So once I create my payment page, let me just style this. So I'm going to just back to my style.css and paste the CSS styling for this payment page. Save the changes and back to your project and reload it. I already have a complete tutorial on shopping cart. You can check out that video from the top right corner of the screen. Now you can notice this is a very simple and basic payment page. Now let me just add my PayPal button inside this page so I can make payments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back to my PayPal website. Right here I have this dock section. I'm going to hover over this dock and click on this checkout. Now from here you can add a simple payment button of PayPal. So I'm going to just copy this script tag right from here and paste it before the closing body section. So I'm going to copy this script tag and paste it before my closing body section right up here. And now you just need to replace this client ID with your actual current ID. And right from here, I'm going to just back to my payment app. I'm going to copy this client ID and replace this SP with this ID like this. And just for that, I want to add the payment button. So I'm going to just open the dock, click on this checkout, and right from here you can notice you have a code to add your payment button. So this is the script tag pasted after this script tag right down here like this. And instead of this body, I'm going to just specify my PayPal payment button division tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create here a division tag with ID PayPal payment button. And I'm going to just specify this ID right here like this. And don't forget to specify here hash because this is the ID. When I reload the browser, you can notice I'm going to have a simple payment button here. Now I want to just modify this button a little bit. I'm going to just remove this debit card and credit card button and this powered by PayPal text. So what you need to do is in this URL right here at the end, you need to specify a variable. So here you need to specify ampersand and specify variable disable funding and specify value to it. So specify equal to sign and specify here credit and card. So this will just remove the credit card and this debit card button. I'm going to just back to my website and reload this browser. So when you reload your browser, you will have a PayPal button. So let me just grab this division tag and put this after this UL tag right down here. Save the changes and reload the browser. If you want, you can add margin and padding to this button. That's upon you. Now just after that, I want to change the color and shape of this button. So what I'm going to do is down here to this button, right here inside this button, I'm going to specify some properties to this button. So instead of creating this JavaScript code right here, I'm going to just put this inside the JS file. So inside this PayPal, I'm going to create a new file of JavaScript and name that file index.js. And right here, I'm going to put this JavaScript code. I'm going to cut this code from here to the source attribute. I'm going to specify this index.js, save this file. And in this index.js, I'm going to paste all the code. Just for that, to this button in the parentheses, right here, I'm going to pass argument so I can change some properties of this button. So here I'm going to specify object like this, and I'm going to specify style to this button. So I'm going to say here style, specify colon, and specify object. I'm going to first specify color to it. So I'm going to specify color. Color is going to be blue. So I'm going to put that in the single quote like this. Then I'm going to specify shape, and I'm going to specify shape teal. And now let me reload the browser. As you can notice, this will just change the color of this button, and this will also change the shape of this button. I'm going to open the index.js, and right here I'm going to implement the create order function. So I'm going to specify here comma. So I'm going to just implement a function called create order. I'm going to just specify here create order and specify function to it like this. And to this function, I'm going to specify two parameters, data and actions. Now this function is going to set up the details of the transaction, including the amount and line item details. I'm going to just simply specify amount and execute this transaction. So I'm going to just return here. So I'm going to say here return actions dot order dot create. I'm going to just see here action dot order dot create, and to this create I'm going to pass my product details, and to this object I'm going to create here key and value pair. So here I'm going to say purchase unit colon, and in the array on the first index I'm going to specify an object amount, specify colon. In the object I'm going to specify value to it. I'm going to say here value, specify colon. In the single quote I'm going to say 0.1. So now this is the value of my product. You can notice here this is the actual payable amount of this payment page. For testing I'm going to specify here 0.1. Just out of that, don't forget to specify here semicolon. Down here I'm going to implement the OnApprove function, which is called after the buyers approve the transaction on PayPal. So just for that, down here I'm going to specify comma and call a function OnApprove, specify colon and specify function to it. And here I'm going to specify data and action. So I'm going to just implement here OnApprove function, which is called after the buyers approve the transaction on PayPal. Now this function captured the fund from the transaction. So I'm going to just return here actions dot order dot capture. If you want to learn more about these methods and functions, you can check out them in the PayPal API. So I'm going to just call this capture method, which is going to capture the fund from the transaction. And just out of this capture, I'm going to just call promises. So here I'm going to call a method then. So once we capture the fund, I'm going to call the promises then. And here I'm going to call a function and pass a parameter details. I'm going to get all the details of the transaction inside this detail parameter. Inside this function, I'm going to just simply say console.log and just print this detail variable like this. Save the changes and reload the browser. Now let me just make a simple payment. So when you add all the products inside your cart, you will have a payable amount like this. And when the buyer click on this PayPal button, it will open a new window where he needs to log in with their email ID and password. Now here, I'm going to just log in with my buyer's account. So I'm going to just open my sandbox. I'm going to just click on my accounts, and here I have my buyer's account. And what I'm going to do is, instead of this buyer's account, I'm going to just log in with this personal account. So I'm going to just open this account and copy this email ID. I'm going to specify this email ID here and specify password. When I click on this login, I'm going to have the PayPal checkout window. And from this window, I can pay this amount. I'm going to just scroll down and click on this pay now button. I'm not going to have anything here, but when you open your console, you will have an object here. This object will return all the details of the transaction. Because if you open your index.js, here I just console these details using console message. So when you open your console, here you have all the details of your transaction. Here you have created time of the transaction, the ID, the links of your transaction. Here you can find the payer's address, email address, name, payer's ID, the purchase units. Then you have your amount, the payee, payments, and all the information of your transaction. So using this object, you can make your payment invoice. You will also have a status message here completed. So this payment is successfully completed, so you will get here completed status. So using this object, you can create your invoice, you can specify the successful message to the user, or you can do a lot more with this information. What I'm going to do is, instead of using this information, let me show you how you can redirect the user when the payment is successfully done. So I'm going to open my project, and instead of this console.log, I'm going to just redirect the user on different page when the payment is successfully done. I'm going to create here a new file of PHP and name this file success.php. And then I'm going to create HTML code here like this. And just out of that, as you can notice, I'm going to just create here a main tag, and inside it I'm going to just create a division tag with this image and this message, payment done successfully. As well as I'm going to create on cancel page as well. So I'm going to right click here and say new PHP file and say on cancel. And right here I'm going to just create HTML and specify a message payment cancel for some reason. So if the user cancel the payment, I want to display this page. Save the changes and now back to your index.js. So what I'm going to do is just after this console message, down here I'm going to just say window dot location dot replace. I'm going to call a method of a location object, and right here I'm going to just pass this successful page URL, and I'm going to copy the URL of this page and I'm going to paste the URL of this page inside this replace parenthesis right here in the double quote, just like this. And just for that, if the user reject or cancel the payment, I'm going to just specify here comma and create another method, and I'm going to just implement another method. So here I'm going to say on cancel. Now this method will execute when the payment is cancelled from the buyer. So here I'm going to create a function, specify data parameter to it, and inside it I'm going to call this window.location.replace and paste it down here. And instead of success, here I'm going to say on cancel, like this. Save the changes. Let me just reload my browser. Now let me just make a payment. So I'm going to click on this PayPal button. This will just open my buyer's account. I already log in with my buyer's account, so I don't have to log in again. So I'm going to just click on this Pay Now button. When I click on it, you can notice this will just redirect me to the successful page. Here you can notice I have a message payment done successfully. So if you want to redirect the user on the successful page, you can put that page inside the OnApprove function. Let me just back to my payment page, and now I'm not going to make a complete payment. I'm going to reject the payment. I'm going to click on this PayPal and I'm not going to complete this payment. So I'm going to click on this cancel and return, or you can click on this close button as well. I'm going to click on this close button. You can notice I'm going to have a new page on cancel.php, and here is the message payment cancel for some reason. So if there is any reason buyers reject the payment, you can redirect the user on different page. So this is how you can integrate PayPal in your project. If you find anything useful, don't forget to click on this like button and press the subscribe button for more programming videos. That is all for now. I will see you in the next one.